Hi everyone and welcome to my live. So I'm Rhonda Kelly from Rhonda's Reading. So welcome everyone. I'm actually coming to outside because I had no internet connection inside where we're staying. So apologies for the lack of lighting. You might see some little insects flying past and all the rest of it. But I hope everyone is well. So coming to you tonight on Wednesday, 27th of April. So thank you everyone for joining me. Well, I've certainly been busy. In the past week, I've done the Tamworth 50th Country West or Country Music Festival, one of mine, and it was very busy. It was great to reconnect with a lot of people, met some new people, connected with people who had readings for the very first time, and it looked like the other readers were busy. So it was great for everyone. It was a great atmosphere, and I haven't been to the Brisbane MBS for a couple of years, but yeah, it was great to be back. And that festival had obviously been postponed a couple of times, so even more the reason for enjoying it. So yeah, so I'm actually back in Victoria at the moment. So just staying in a place that has intermittent internet connection. I literally was walking around with my little laptop, and the only place I got a connection was outside. So here I am. So I hope everyone is well. Hence my really warm woolly jumper. I hope everyone is well. Thank you to there were a few people that watched my lives that connected with me in Brisbane, so that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for that. I have a psychic festival. It's called the Healthy. I should get notice. Healthy Body and Soul Expo or something like that. So that's on Sunday, the 1st of May at Brunswick Town Hall from 10 till 4. I believe there's parking nearby, but it's obviously Brunswick, so sort of fairly close to Melbourne City, northern suburbs. It's great public transport, obviously. So I look forward to connecting with you there. And I'm also doing a talk at 10:30. First one of the day, I'm doing a talk of Are You Psychic? So looking forward to that. And I've been told by a few people are going to come and visit me, so that's lovely. If you don't, I mean, you can welcome to visit, have a reading, or even if you don't, that's fine. I'll be around Melbourne. Okay, so all right, so I've got a troll already, so I'm deleting that and blocking that. Okay, so apologies, and thank you so much to everyone who has been looking for trolls and blocking them for me. So I really appreciate that. So okay, so oh, thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. That's lovely of you. We are house sitting, so we've got some sort of responsibilities to do. So, yeah. So, how is everyone? Where is everyone? Please let me know where you are. So, hi, Robert. Hi, Jen. Hi, Nav. Hi, Karen. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Nicole. Okay. So, Tanyathi Tiambana, I've blocked her. That's quite quick to have a troll already. Okay. Karen, yes, I am going to the Sydney MBS. So that's in May is the next one, and then the one after that is in October. So I was just trying to be good and tell you the store numbers I'm going to be at. October, I'm A05, so the first row. May, I believe I'm in B, C, or D. But yeah, definitely. So my business name is Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly. So that's what you'll be able to see. Hi, Navita. Yes, likewise. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, really appreciate that, Jen. Then I wouldn't be having to sit outside in the cold. Okay. All right. So, just in the I'm not sure who this is, but all I can see is Facebook user. So, in the blurb of my in the blurb of my description for my video, so I'm coming to you on my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Readings, and my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, my Facebook group, Rhonda Kelly. In the description of that for this person saying Facebook user, I can't see your name. So if I haven't said your name, it might be that I can't see it. So in the link of that, you basically have to click StreamYard to display your name because I'm broadcasting via a platform called StreamYard. Yeah, absolutely. End of May. I think it's the 22nd, like the third last week in May. Oh, that would be lovely, Karen. Yeah, that would be amazing. Just please come by and say hi. And if I'm busy, come by and say hi to my bookings person. You're feeling B, okay, Robert? Yeah, I literally just looked at all that this morning, and I can't remember. Okay, so yeah, so I have blocked and deleted the comments from the troll. So apologies for that. Okay, I'm just doing that now. So alrighty. So I've actually got some readings to do. So Jen, I'm going to read you, and I'm also going to read. I'm just going to read a couple of, and Nicole, I'm going to read you as well. It's my first one. Oh, absolutely, Karen. Yeah, that would be amazing. I had, I mean, the Brisbane was wonderful, Brisbane MBS, because I had 3 people tuning into the energy. I said, "Have we read for you before?" I said, "You don't look familiar," and they were people who joined my live. So yeah, it was that absolutely beautiful to meet them in person. So yeah, wonderful. Yes, absolutely, Robert. Be gone, troll. Back to your bridge. Alrighty, so the people who have paid for the reading, Nicole and Jen. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, staying warm. I'm hoping this doesn't freshen up my cold. Who's a bit anxious in the room tonight? Tuning in, I'm just feeling like there's a rush in getting the words out, and a feeling yeah, I wasn't feeling. Actually, I probably was feeling anxious before this because I couldn't get my internet to work. But once that was working, I thought that's fine. I'll sit outside. But I'm just picking up a bit of anxiety around this. I'm actually Nevada. I feel like I'm with you actually. Just take a breath. Yeah, Karen, absolutely. Lots of people seem to be in Brisbane. It's really interesting with what's happening. What's happened with drought and floods, and a lot of people moved up to Brisbane, but there's also a shift of people moving back. Like a lot of people seem to have making really big moves, or moving from country to city, or city to the country. Like, excuse me, that's been a really big thing. Oh, Karen, you've been feeling excuse me, you've been feeling anxious and frustrated in the last few days. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Okay. Evening, Tinker. I was going to call you Bella, but you know what I mean. Okay. So, Nicole, if you're in the room, please post your question, and I'll get to some other ones as well. Also, by the way, I have posted a link with the event I'm attending on Sunday, and the tickets on sale at Eventbrite. I think it's only $5 or $10 to go in the event, but so that'll be to look at stall holders and have a reading and listen to talks as well. But I did post a code word with the link on my Facebook page and group, and I think it's Eventbrite, Healthy Body and Soul Expo, and that's actually the code word. So feel free to look at that if you would like. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that, Tinker. Call you what you like. There's worse things I could call you, right? All right. So I'm going to read Jen first. Just want to know if Michael apologizes to me and I accept his apology. Would we get together in the future? I'm feeling that's a remote possibility. I'm still just feeling like, oh yeah, he's just like, he doesn't speak his truth, and what you see is not what you get. So I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling great about Michael actually apologizing. I almost feel like it'll be too late, or he feels like it's too late. And I'm also feeling like you're unlikely to accept his apology. So, you could have a future together, and certainly could if all of this hadn't happened. But I'm just not feeling great about that. So I wouldn't sort of hold your hopes up. I just feel like he's right royally stuffed up, really. And I feel like he's either a bit too ashamed or to apologise. I feel like it's too late, is what I'm getting. Hi, Lenny. I'm not quite in Melbourne, and it is freezing. and I've got my warm sleeves on. I haven't worn a jumper for a while. It's beautiful. Melbourne's my hometown. I'm going to visit my mum for Mother's Day, and it'd be beautiful. Hi, Cassie. Hi. Hi, honey. Hi, Rimsha. Hi, Jen. Thank you. My pleasure. Yeah. Let me know who you are because I can't see. It just says Facebook user. So if you type your name or you click on that link to give StreamYard your permission. All right. So I'm going to read Nicole first. I'm confused and suspicious of the things that Melly has been saying to me about Ricky. What do you think's going on, please and thank you? Yeah, I'm feeling misinformation. So you're confused because I'm feeling like Melly is changing the narrative. So what's happened is not happening. And I'm also getting that Melly's not behaving that way for the usual reasons. I feel like it's more about wanting to keep Ricky in a certain place rather than to you. So although Melly's not behaving like an adult, I'm feeling like it's got more to do with Ricky than you. And it feels like Melly's trying to control your relationship with Ricky, for lack of a better word. Like it's something about Melly wanting to be in charge or wanting to sort of hijack your time or something, but then keep Ricky separate is what I'm getting. So there's something a bit. So you're right, Nicole. It doesn't feel right, and I don't like what Melly's saying, and I feel like it's going to come back and bite her. Really, that's what I'm feeling. I just feel like, you've got to have a really like you have got to have a good memory to be a lie, and I don't feel she has, and I don't feel like she kind of is. Like she's aware of what she's doing, but she's just caught up in just doing it is what I'm feeling. But thank you for that, Nicole. Alrighty. So let me just scroll up to the top and see who I'm drawn to. Let me just have a look at that. So for those of you who don't know me, this is my website. So I do have I don't have great availability to have a reading this week if you're wanting to book in. Like if I touch on something during the live and you want to book in, I've got better availability later next week. So that's when you can have a reading. But have a look on the shop on my website, and I've got email readings and things like that as well. Okay, alrighty. So now that I think I've stopped playing with my screen, and that's a fence post behind me, by the way. That's all that is. It's not anything scary or that. Okay. Yeah, likewise, Karen. Yeah, really would love to see you. Alrighty, let me yeah. So I believe the Sydney MBS is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. They're all slightly different. Okay, I'm going to be going to Nav from YouTube. So obviously, to have a chance of having a reading, you've got to like and share the video on Facebook or subscribe to my YouTube channel. And feel free to share that on social media as well. All right. So Nav has asked, may I please get a career read for the rest of the year? Okay, I do see a bit of turbulence there. I'm feeling that like things aren't going to happen exactly the way you think they're going to be, but it just almost feels like there's a bit of proving yourself to get to where you need to be. But I feel like it's time to start making those changes now and start getting that reputation for yourself, or start achieving those things so that people will notice, is what I'm feeling. So I feel like this is a bit about recognition and career progression, but I'm feeling like you've got a bit of work to do from where you are now, is what I'm getting. So there's sort of some interesting changes, and really just let it flow, like be sort of planned and be planned and have the intentions that you set out, because I'm feeling like you got two main intentions around career, but I just feel like let it flow and sort of do it a step at a time, is what I'm getting. Hi, Rob. I think I said hello to you. I can't remember. Hi, Joanne. I was going to say you're a high school friend, but you're not. You're a traveling friend. Okay, so still deleting comments from that troll. So that was quite early to get that in. Okay, so let me have a look. Alrighty. Okay. So, Gianne, anything to pick up for you? I'm feeling there's a need for patience, actually. Gianna, it just feels like, and I'm feeling like that's around women in your life. There's a bit of patience, like don't sort of react or don't do or don't, almost like if someone asks you to do something or there's an urgency, just don't do it because they've got to learn. So I'm just feeling like there's maybe some boundaries you're setting with women, but there's a bit of patience I'm feeling because I feel like you're quite a go-getter, Gianna. You just actually do things that need to be done, but by doing that, you're stopping other people from doing them, is what I'm getting. All right, so thank you for that, Gianna. Alrighty, okay. Okay. Okay, so someone said long time no see from my side. I don't know who that is. I feel like it might be my cousin, but that's the energy I'm. Okay, so since I just tuned into cousin, I'm going to go to Robert's question. Will my cousin listen to what I have to say? I'm getting no. She's been nasty and judgmental towards me. I also think she's jealous of me in some way. She's okay. Your cousin's got quite interesting energy, Rob. I feel like she's intelligent, but she's a bit arrogant. I feel like she. I'm just feeling like she's quite intuitive herself. I'm cautious of using the word psychic, but I'm feeling like she's intuitive, and I feel like she's very quick at reading people and understanding people, and almost like putting them in a certain pigeonhole or category of how she categorizes people. But you don't fit the mold. Like you, I almost feel like she does that with you, and then you say something or you do something unexpected. And I'm also feeling that when you talk, I'm getting a sense of you talking and her just like holding her head in confusion. So I feel like she doesn't know what you're going to say, or is a bit surprised when you say unexpected things. So I just feel like she doesn't understand you and she can't pigeonhole you, is what I'm getting. So she's deliberately not listening because that's taking away your power, is what I'm getting. Yeah, so there's something a bit. She's sort of really got to drop the ego, and even if you say something to her, look, say something like, you're never going to understand me, or you're never going to put me in a pigeonhole, so stop trying. Something like that is what I'm getting. Okay. Alrighty, I'm just going to answer a question. So obviously during these lives, I do a composite, I do spiritual book reviews, I answer questions, all the rest of it. I've had a lot of questions about mediumship lately, and it was interesting. A lady at the Brisbane NBS, I had one that was not receptive to the message that was being told. So that was an interesting, I had to be diplomatic there. But then on the other end, I had someone that was really keen to have a message but didn't really understand it and didn't know if it was going to work for her. Like she didn't know if spirit would bother connecting with her. So kind of interesting. There's a lot of sort of stigma about mediumship. But Joanne has asked, when did you start getting into mediumship? What led you to that? So I've actually been a medium all my life, Joanne. I saw a lot of animals and spirits when I was young, when I was a little girl. And I knew, so for example, I can remember driving to my grandparents' house, seeing an ambulance and knowing that my uncle was in that ambulance transitioning, so he was dying. And I just knew things because he was sort of like standing outside the ambulance and said to me, I'm in there. That's as we are stuck in traffic going past. Another example is I saw my granddad when he died, at the time he died, and he said he was okay. He'll see me when my hair's grey like his, kind of thing. And we didn't know he died for a few days, but I remember telling my parents. So I've always been a medium, and I've always naturally been able to understand the gist of the message. And obviously, they respect, like people who pass over. You've got to, as long as you have respect for spirit, respect for God, or whoever you is your higher power, your angels, your higher self, whatever that is. As long as you're respectful, they'll be respectful to you, and they'll connect in a way. So what we do is we practice mental mediumship. So that means that we have a mind-to-mind connection. So we don't do like the Whoopi Goldberg ghost where the spirit jumps in. That's physical mediumship. So it's only happened to me twice where I've had to tell them to back off because it's been too much. But on the whole, they're respectful. So it's not a matter of when did I start getting into it. I always have been that way. But it wasn't until sort of my 30s I was in a relationship with a medium, and he and it was the first time as an adult I had a conversation about it. And then I started watching Psychic TV Australia, not realizing I was going to be on it. But that's kind of how that was kind of my journey. It was more just getting back into it. And everyone is quite can practice their intuition and their psychic ability, and to some extent mediumship as well, because it's like any skill you practice. But my feeling also is that you can't teach mediumship from scratch, as in, if you've had past lives where or an ancestral lineage where someone's been burnt at the stake for being a witch, or they're gypsies or something like that, then it's obviously a stronger mediumship link that you tap into. So my feeling is that it does run in families. But it's interesting though. Like I've done workshops, particularly at the Starlight Festival. I have a big audience in Bangalore in January, and I teach workshops on psychic development. But at the end of it, if I feel like the class is pretty intuitive, I'll throw in a mediumship question, and I'm always astounded by how accurate those things are. And and that might be a room full of 100 people, and I'll get 30 or so people that have nailed it. Like I'll actually just put it out there, and I'll get people to say one word, or I'll go around the room or something like that. So that's quite a high percentage. That's like a third of the people have, once they're in that space of allowing it to flow in psychic ability, then the mediumship can flow. So I could be completely wrong, but how does everyone else feel about that? In that mediums, like how do people feel about that? In that mediumship is something that you can either learn, or it's sort of in you through your family history. So let me know what you think of that. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, 100%. And I'm not seeing any personal growth with her, Robert. I'm really not. Okay. All right. So thank you for that question, Joanna. Hopefully I haven't confused you. Is what I'm getting. Thanks, Tinker. Thank you. Okay, let me tune back up and have a look at the questions actually. Alrighty. So I'm well, thank you, Facebook user. Please click the link to show your name. All right, let me go and have a look. I'm just trying to look at some of the questions. Okay, so Rims has been watching for a while. Do you see me getting back to Jay? I'm getting 50-50. I feel like I'm actually more inclined that you're going to decide not to. So I'm not getting a time frame actually. Okay. And this Facebook user, if you can let me know who you are. Let me know if you're Richard. Alrighty. Honey has asked, will I get a job anytime soon? I'm feeling within the next 2 weeks actually. And I'm getting sort of a time frame like you've been through a third of it. So what I feel I'm seeing is that you've applied for a job a week ago, and you'll be starting in a couple of weeks' time, is what I'm getting. All right, thank you, Jen. Okay, Natalie's asked, when will I meet his family? Okay, I'm feeling a bit of laughter about that. There's something for you, Natalie, about teaching you patience. It's like the more you not worry about it, the more you think about it, the slower it will happen. So I just feel sort of let that go in order for that to happen. I'm also feeling like you're expected to meet them already. Like there's a feeling of something was meant to happen, Natalie, but then it didn't happen. So I feel like something will be arranged, but you won't meet them. But then you'll meet them either like before that anyway, or just after that is what I'm getting. Okay. Okay, thank you, Karen. Yes, I am, Lenny. I'm doing the Sydney MBS in May. Are you going at all? All right. So, Joanne, let me know if that answer made sense to you. And I'm also just looking at yeah, I was just looking for other people who had commented on my question, but no one has. That's okay. All right. So, Mary, so obviously, hopefully you've shared and liked my Facebook. Can I have a reading, please? Asked Mary Heaven. Okay, I'm feeling a bit of uncertainty with you. It's interesting. I feel like you're quite skeptic, Mary. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit of uncertainty about making a decision around September, October, and I feel like if you're uncertain like that, you don't need to make that decision yet. Is what I'm getting. So that's what I'm getting. But I'm also feeling a bit of being skeptical and hesitant with you. So. And I also, but it's interesting because I feel like you're highly intuitive. So you've got to really trust your instincts more. And even if you go back to playing psychic games with yourself or something like that, I feel like that's going to help. Okay, so beautiful. I've got, so Lenny, Tinker says, I feel like mediumship also is about how open or aware the person is to being receptive. For some, seeing spirit is overwhelming and frightening. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things. If I feel like someone is anxious when I'm doing a reading, I really sort of approach it with caution. Like for example, I had a lady at the MBS who booked in because a friend booked in, but she was really hesitant to mediumship. She really blocked herself, and it sort of to the point where it sort of made me a bit anxious. And I thought, oh, that's not great. Yeah, so people can not be receptive. There can also be religious things or cultural reasons for not wanting to connect. But I actually feel like mediumship is wonderful for closing the generation gap. You know, you find out about something. And an example is I actually had a couple over the weekend who were doing genealogy. So they were looking at the family tree and that stopped. And I actually specifically asked that and I gave them information and different spelling or whatever else. I can't remember exactly. And they did that, and then they found all this information. So I think how that is absolutely wonderful because they wouldn't have thought of doing that had they not have made that connection. But the idea is that the past family member wanted them to find out information. They were excited that someone was, looking at their life. So and this lady I connected with, she actually wants to write a book, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. I actually helped along the way. I think that's amazing. Yeah, so definitely, it's sort of one of those things that you sort of, yeah, you can certainly practice like any ability, but psychic ability is sort of a bit of a difference per headspace than mediumship. So Lenny says the black sheep in a family when it comes to mediums and psychic abilities. I feel not actually, Lenny. And I feel like I'm getting a grandfather figure that was quite psychic. I just feel like you're in a different space and you're in a different place where you can talk about it. So I feel like there were psychics in your lineage, but you're sort of, and I feel like you're going to make that connection or confirm that when the time comes. Oh, thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Okay. Also, I'm getting Mary with you. Just add some color in your life. And I know your photo's black and white, but I'm feeling like you're thinking of putting up pictures or something or colors. But I feel like just do that. All right. So Joanne's just made a comment saying, "Cool. Yes, I do think people are born with a gift via family lineage. I was just curious because you didn't do it as a job back in 2001. Wonder what pulled you to that path." Yeah, it was actually spirit that pulled me to that path. So I um I was aware of it when I met you on our Kentucky tour, but I didn't sort of talk about it unless it was that conversation instigated. So Robert Dark, who passed away, we became really close mates, and he gave me away at my wedding. So I certainly had conversations with him about our families growing up, and I told him I was psychic before I told anyone else. So it was someone it was one of the things where I talked about it if I felt the need to, or because in terms of sort of family trauma, it helped me get through that. So that was something I talked to Robert about. So yeah, it's sort of, but yeah, I was a scientist when I met you. And then I went and did a law degree and was a lawyer. So I got two professions I could do instead of this. But I was actually I used to do psychic fairs on a weekend and practice during the week. But I don't know if I've told you, I basically asked Spirit whether I need to quit doing this and do quit law and do my job full time. Quit law and do my psychic work full time. And I asked Spirit for a really obvious sign. And we had a shared calendar at work, and my name got taken off the shared calendar. So that was pretty obvious. And the IT guy came out, couldn't understand how it happened. And I was actually watching him look madly on the computer, sort of like really, like my boss, the principal lawyer, was giving him, was micromanaging him, and I could see that he was stressed. And I actually said to Spirit, "Okay, I understand. Thanks. You can put me back on." And my name reappeared, and they were both just really. It was actually quite funny to watch because they went from both being really stressed to being really confused. So, Spirit's more powerful in any workplace. So, but they do give you clear signs if you ask for it. So that was what made me finally decide, yes, I'll do this as a career. Yeah, Jen, I feel like you're psychic as well. And it's just, I feel for you, don't sort of overthink it, like just go with it. Like your question made sense tonight, but it was kind of like, well, what if? But, honestly, the feeling of it, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen, is what I'm getting. Okay, so this is great. So I'm interested in seeing. So obviously, part of this I do live readings, but I also engage in spiritual related questions. So Robert said, "I feel that seeing and talking with spirit is about helping their loved ones find closure and healing, and my gift is handed down from my mum." Oh, beautiful! Thank you for sharing that, Robert. Yeah, absolutely, it's about healing, and it's really interesting. So when I've had a lot of grief and tragedy in my life, and for the ones that have died the most traumatically, or the relationships that were closest to me, I don't actually connect with them straight away. I genuinely feel like that spirit protecting me when I'm ready to make the connection, and I'm ready to sort of start processing it or start healing it, then I connect with them. So I think that's really beautiful. Okay. All right. So Lenny said, all my grandparents are open to the angelic realm, just from religious perspectives. Any mention of psychic or mediumship was swiftly swept under the carpet and labeled as devil worshipping. So I kept quiet. Yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate, Lenny. That really, really is. I mean, I'm different but similar to you in that each grandparent of mine was a different religion. So that was good in that I was brought up with no particular faith, but I was brought up to believe in God. So I felt from a child of having trust that there's something higher, that something bigger than me, some bigger purpose to life. So that was beautiful. And I've got sort of different idea, like the Judaism belief of death is a reward for life. I feel is absolutely beautiful. like, it's nothing to fear of. It's you live your life, and then you die, and you're in heaven basically, and then you come back and do it all again. But yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah, so thank you for that, Lenny. Jen, I'm not actually practicing now, so you won't be able to hire me in that capacity. Yeah, okay. So Robert said, I started out doing card readings and mediumship developed from that point. Beautiful. So reading the cards over time of period, it's gotten stronger and more clear. Yeah, absolutely. So it's actually, and also when you start your psychic journey, your psychic development, play to your strengths. So if you are drawn to reading cards, look at, so that's clairvoyance in getting imagery, getting psychic imagery from the cards. But take it a step further and look at the cards. A lot of cards are numbered, or they have a name or a word or a little phrase. See what you're drawn to with that. If it's a phrase or a poem, you might be clairaudient. You might hear song lyrics or poems. But also, if it's like a word, or if it's a number, it's numerology. If it's the actual imagery, then that's definitely clairvoyance. And it might be that you meditate and you get quite clear messages clairvoyantly. All right, and Joanna said, "Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's really sad about Robert. Been thinking about him a lot lately. But yeah, I am healing. Thank you. It kind of sucks though, in that his birthday was a day before mine, so it's exciting, and my birthday's a day before my husband. So, obviously I like birthdays and like presents and chocolate and all that. But it's kind of sad that each birthday I think of him, and I think it's another birthday I'm not going to celebrate with him. And we used to text each other all the time, and our little travel. Like I've been to about 80 countries, and he's been to about 150. So at one point we were sort of parallel, and then he far exceeded me. Went to South America and saw a lot more of Africa than I saw. So yeah, a very interesting guy. Hi Vanessa, thank you for liking and sharing. So I'm in Victoria now, Vanessa, and I'm coming to Melbourne on Sunday for a psychic fair at Brunswick Town Hall. And I've got a post on Facebook about that. So I am around. I've actually had inquiries already for people for me to read people in Melbourne. So I'll look at doing a day sort of somewhere. I'll hire out a venue. Yeah. Alrighty. So thank you everyone who contributed to that conversation. It's always interesting. I mean, it's sort of regardless of where you are in your psychic development, there's always someone that you can relate to, or you can always learn from. And it's just things like, it's just really just trusting. Like I get some quite unusual mediumship connections, and I have to trust it. And you have to deliver a message with respect, and you have to treat spirit with respect. But yeah, it's really beautiful. And I had some amazing connections as well. And for me, in my readings, I often get humor come through because my guide is quite funny. So I feel like I'm getting better, and I probably always have been okay with it, but at delivering sort of bad messages or having the connection, it's a bit difficult. I try to do that either with a bit of humor or with a bit of tact and respect. All right. Thanks, Vanessa. Oh, thank you, Robert. That's absolutely beautiful. I'd absolutely love that, and he'd love that as well. Lenny's also said, I also have messages come to me from song lyrics sometimes, and I get these messages for my clients, anything up to a day before we connect. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's really interesting. When I do platform, I never used to get messages until I got on stage. And the last couple I've done, I've had messages beforehand. So, you've got to also be able to go with the flow of any changes that happen as well. So it's interesting. And I'm getting unusual names as well. Like I think last time I did platform, I got a Wallace, and I asked if it was first or surname, and he said, no, it's my first name. And so that was sort of an odd name to get, but like it made me think of Wallace and Gromit, but this guy was nothing like the energy of Wallace and Gromit. Alrighty. Okay, well, I think my throat is going while I'm sitting outside. It's actually pretty cold. I'm just going to check that no one else has booked a reading. No, that's okay. Alrighty. Okay, so thank you everyone so much who's joined me. Okay, so I'm going to do this one because I saw that for my friend Natasha Roberts who can't log into your live. I also am on YouTube as well, Rhonda's Readings. Has BD changed? Yes, I feel for the better. I feel that BD's changed for the better. But just is a bit more time needed is what I'm being told. So thanks for that, Natasha. Okay. Okay. So, like our lovely Florence King says, we can never train our gifts enough in this industry. Oh, absolutely. And it's also like this. I'm going to be doing another post as well, Lenny and everyone else. I had quite a few. I've had quite a few concerning things come up in readings related to people being scammed. I mean, we had a troll like earlier on in this live, and there's fake profiles and people trying to direct you to bank accounts and all that sort of thing. But it's been a bit bigger than that, and even the things people have talked. And I'm a lawyer, obviously, so it's the things people have told me have been really, really concerning. So I'm going to be writing a post. Obviously, I'll keep it confidential. I'm not going to mention any names of people, but there may be things that you read that you relate to. But I just want to sort of do a bit of a warning for people to just be careful. If you're doing a course on psychic development or mediumship, don't pay thousands of dollars. Really don't. And just do one, like even phone and talk to the person or do one class before you commit, because it might not resonate with you. They might be a wonderful teacher, but it might not resonate with you. Similar, I've had someone have a shaman do healing that didn't work. There was on the Australian Spiritual Alliance website, there's a link to a video where someone actually, that's much the same thing happened, but this guy actually had cancer and he was advised not to follow medical advice. So that was quite serious. So even the intention of doing that is really quite bad. So please, when you're having a psychic reading or a mediumship reading, we're literally just tuning into your energy. We're not giving you medical advice, not giving you legal advice, not giving you financial advice. Anything we pick up, you need to obviously go and follow that up with your doctor. So it's just very concerning that that's been happening. Yeah, absolutely. So there's legitimate ones that do care about the clients, and Florence King is a prime example of that. Her mediumship, her connections are amazing, and it gives sensible advice, and she, empowers her clients. So I have a lot of respect for Florence, and she's right in terms of when you do a course, you might have completed that level, but it might also be just that level at that facility. It might not be an accredited course. So you got to be careful about getting certified in something because it might not mean much. So don't pay a lot of money in doing that. And there's a lot of value as well in basically really your own learning. So your own your own reading and teaching and having a spiritual group or something like that. So there's a lot of value in doing that. But yeah, it's certainly interesting, and it just it just really concerns me when people sort of take advantage of anyone that's sort of vulnerable or feels that they're obligated to pay money to achieve a certain outcome, whether it's remove a curse or attract love or whatever like that. So you should never feel that you rely on a psychic either. Like you shouldn't have too many readings, or you shouldn't have a reading every day or anything like that. So I'll be doing a post about that as well. Okay, just going to do. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, appreciate that. Sending Robert, sending Robert healing. Okay. All right. Okay. So, just got a message from someone in the room, and I'm just checking that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I've blocked them. Okay. So I have an exam in my chemistry lecture course. I feel like you'll do fine, actually. I'm drawn to lecture